The SCP Foundation has a huge amount of different creatures and objects that are very, very strange. Today we're going to have a look at 3 creepy SCPs. These SCPs are a little bit more unknown, and one is even just a creepy object. We're going to start with SCP-312. SCP-312 is also known as the atmospheric jellyfish. This SCP is a Euclid object class. It's exactly how it sounds, an atmospheric jellyfish-shaped creature. It's made of very thin layers of tissue and traps atmospheric gases in between each layer. SCP-312 is about 2.5 meters wide on the dome of the jellyfish, and its tentacles that float down can be up to 25 meters long, but it is constantly changing form and shifting, as it is just small pieces of tissue and gases that it's trapping from the air. The core is actually a cluster of eyes that are human looking with one central orb. The way it prevents itself is actually a form of camouflage, as a cloud-like substance that actually floats around in the sky. Its most noted appearance resembles a jellyfish. Now, SCP-312 moves around very slowly and seemingly aimlessly until it finds a target to hunt. SCP-312 hunts large mammals, normally humans, and it picks a target and will very slowly follow that target for an undescript amount of time. It follows the target by hovering over it very slowly. Once the target looks up and sees the core of eyes, SCP-312 will attack the target and create a wind-like vortex which sucks its prey up right into the core, where the poor prey item is digested. The undigested items will then fall from the sky, which, as you can imagine, is probably quite a shock. It then just floats away aimlessly and will just keep floating until it finds another prey item. It has to be noted that the prey item can escape its tracking procedure by travelling at over 30 miles an hour, or SCP-312 will lose its prey item if it does go into a large crowd of people, so it does tend to switch prey items quite often. There are at least 3 SCP-312 instances that are known to be uncontained currently in the wild. At the moment, one is currently contained in a large life-form case, but as per the special containment procedure, any staff that do go in there to research this creature are advised to wear wide brim hats to make sure that they don't look up. Because it doesn't need fed or cleaned, SCP-312 is only of access to researchers. But I think you can agree that this one's a pretty cool one. Although it is sort of scary, the idea of just a floating jellyfish that very slowly follows people around is quite cool. This next SCP is SCP-325, also known as the Detergent. SCP-325 is a rather inconspicuous looking small bottle of branded washing detergent. If looking at it, you probably wouldn't realise there's anything different about this bottle. In fact, it doesn't look any different to any other bottle that you'd buy off the shelf by the same brand. Analysing its contents, it also doesn't seem any different to an identical bottle of the same brand. And it also does exactly what it says. It washes clothes as normal. However, there's a reason it's an SCP. SCP-325 is a safe object class, but that is because it can be really easily contained, and as long as it isn't in use or you're not near it, it doesn't cause any issues otherwise. It's kept in a standard size steel box, which should be waterproofed and lined with hydrophobic rubber and stored away from any washing facilities. And anyone who wears the clothing that is washed by SCP-325 starts exhibiting some really strange behaviour. These behaviours have been broken down into 5 different levels of severity. Level 1. Level 1 behaviour occurs when someone has worn a piece of clothing that has been washed by 325 from 1 to 24 hours. What happens to the individual? Probably a D class. The individual experiences a really increased awareness of hygiene and cleanliness. They wash their hands excessively, but other than that, there's no real issue, and once taking the garment off, they do go back to normal quite quickly. Level 2. From 24 hours to 96 hours wear, they develop extreme germophobia and really extreme washing regimes. They shun others that have been outside, treating them as dirty, and they start to stockpile cleaning agents and canned food. Unfortunately, it just gets worse and worse. Level 3 is 96 hours to 240 hours of wear. Everything that is deemed unclean by the individual is disinfected or destroyed by incineration. The only clothes the individual will wear and class as clean are ones that have been washed by SCP-325. Level 4 is anything over 240 hours of wear. This is where it starts getting really gross. Individuals will actually cut themselves and use their own blood as the cleaning agent. Now 70% of the people affected who get to level 4 will die at this stage from blood loss. However, the blood that's been tested by the individual that have used it as a cleaning agent, all of the results have been inconclusive. But it has been effective in cleanup of some containment breaches. So obviously the Foundation is very interested in what happens with all of these individuals and 325. Now level 5 is the highest level. Most of it is redacted, so the only information that we have is that the individual does go completely out of control, and the level 5 individual has been responsible for lots of death of the staff. This only occurs to individuals who have worn the garment 480 hours or more, and obviously if they got past level 4 and are still alive. The SCP deems that anyone who hits over a level 3 has to be terminated. This is because there's no going back at that point. Level 1 and level 2, you can sort of recover mentally from this, especially when you're not wearing the garment anymore. Whereas level 3, 4 and 5, I think you're completely buggered. If for any reason SCP-325 does breach containment, maybe it's spilled, the special containment procedure does state that drying agents should be used and spread liberally around, and then everything collected should be incinerated to make sure nothing can be affected by SCP-325. Now this is a short one, but it's quite a funny one. It's so funny that something so standard, especially even the branding is very standard for the UK, is going to cause so much trouble. And if you can imagine this just being used in a normal world, you would think that there's nothing wrong with it and use it until you became a manic germaphobe. The last SCP we're going to cover today is SCP-250. This one is titled Most of an Allosaurus. Yeah, that's right, a dinosaur. Object class Euclid. SCP-250 is an animate fossil skeleton composing of 153 articulated bones and 14 plaster fiberglass replacement bones. However, it's all held together by an unknown force, so they're not entirely sure what is keeping it all together. SCP-250 acts exactly as expected of a real-life Allosaurus, except it's just a skeleton. It's aggressive, angry, and it just tries to eat people or prey. That's all it does, that's all it wants to do, is just live its life as an angry dinosaur. It's very predictable, so all it does is hunts throughout the day, tries to find its prey, kills it, eats it, and then tries to stay quite dormant at night. Now it will try to eat anything that it does kill, but as it is just the bones of a dinosaur, it has no way to digest prey as it has no stomach or organs, so it just eats meat and it just falls out of its ribcage, which is pretty gross. Now it was found as an actual fossil in the ground with about 80% of the bones complete. This is very normal for a fossil. They don't often find 100%. Obviously if there are softer bones, some of them can actually erode away a lot quicker than the bones that have been fossilised are. SCP-250 obviously started as the pile of bones. It was unarticulated and just displayed in a museum, much like any display you'd find of a skeleton at a museum. One night, however, the SCP just came alive for completely unknown reasons and actually killed an intruder of the museum. No one is exactly sure what made it do that, but at the same time, one of the main paleontologists at the museum had vanished, which is really bizarre. Now it is currently contained, and the special containment procedure states that it should be kept within a 50 by 50 metre enclosure, where it's basically a simulated environment of what it would have if it was a real dinosaur. So it's quite warm, has a lot of vegetation that it would find if you found this dinosaur in the wild when it was alive and not extinct. It is given prey to eat in the form of one large pig every 2 days. This is probably to curb the aggressive behaviour, as if you weren't going to feed it, it would probably try and escape and find a way out anyway. I absolutely love this one. It is so simple, has that little bit of mystery to how the hell did it even become an animate object. It's just so bizarre. Now I do absolutely love dinosaurs, so I think this one for me is one of the funniest but also one of the coolest. I can just imagine this dinosaur getting up to so much trouble and it's just bones. So that's 3 random SCPs that we've looked at today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please click the link above to see any of the other videos that I've made for SCPs. Please like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!